Good evening to everybody. Today, the stock market closed at all-time record highs, which means that once again, Fox Business brought out the virtual fireworks.
You just clarified some very important issues about the banks coming up. Thank you, Gerard. Here we go, folks. It is a record close for the Dow Jones Industrials and another record close for the S&P 500. Green on the screen today, driven by the bank earnings. But as you know, next week, big news with earnings as well. So we'll see you.
The Fox Business celebration comes after another Rupert Murdoch-owned company published an article titled, "J.P. Morgan calls it, the U.S. economy has made a soft landing." The Wall Street Journal is reporting that the world's largest bank announced that the U.S. economy under President Biden has achieved what was once seen as impossible, a soft landing. Investopedia describes a soft landing as an economy that slows down a bit, in this case because the Fed has managed interest rates without triggering inflation or a recession. Pandemic-era inflation is way down, unemployment is low, job creation is high, and wages are growing, and no one is talking about a recession anymore. There are just 25 days until Election Day, and more than 4 million votes have already been cast. There's one person on this year's ballot who's been called fascist to the core by their top general, Donald Trump. The Independent reports, quote, that in Bob Woodward's forthcoming book, War, former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mark Milley, said to Woodward, quote, "He is the most dangerous person ever. I had suspicions when I talked to you about his mental decline and so forth, but now I realize he's a total fascist. He's now the most dangerous person to this country," he said. "A fascist to the core," Milley repeated. I ask you to think about this for a moment. A former president being called fascist to the core by the man who was the most senior military officer in the country, serving under that very man. In a normal news world, this would be all everyone was talking about. But now we live in the Trump era. And so Donald Trump can tell a group of supporters in Colorado today that Americans who don't support him are the real enemy. And that's just part of Trump's election stump speech.
You know, I always say we have the outside enemy, so you can say China, you can say Russia, you can say Kim Jong-un, you can say, but that's not, it's going to be fun. If you have a smart president, no problem. It's the enemy from within, all the scum that we have to deal with that hate our country. That's a bigger enemy than China and Russia.
Today, Governor Walz kicked off a new push to win over male voters in battleground states. Here's what he said, flanked by hard hats in hometown of General Motors, Macomb County, Michigan.
He says we should just let China dominate the auto industry. But it's no surprise, Trump's all talk when it comes being tough on China. Some of you heard this. We just found out his Trump-branded Bibles. Yeah, they're printed in China. This dude even outsourced God to China. So just so we know. Again, I'm going to try and be generous here. I don't blame him. He didn't notice the Made in China sticker because they put it inside a place he's never looked in the Bible. So.
In Western Pennsylvania yesterday, the former President Barack Obama spoke directly to black men voters, urging them to show up for Kamala Harris.
You're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you because you think that's a sign of strength, because that's what being a man is, putting women down? That's not acceptable.
And this week, the Harris campaign launched Hombres con Harris, a new initiative aimed at Latino men in battleground states. Yesterday, Vice President Harris answered questions from undecided Latino voters in Las Vegas during a Univision town hall, including this emotional one.
You and I have something in common. We both lost our mother.
Oh.
And I'm an American citizen, born to Mexican parents. They were here before I was even born, They've worked their whole lives. But with the way immigration laws change over time, I was only able to help my dad get his legal status squared away, but not my mom's. My mom passed away just 6 weeks ago.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And she was never, ever able to get the type of care and service that she needed or deserved. Sorry.
Take your time. Take your time.
So my question for you is, what are your plans, or do you have plans to support that subgroup of immigrants who have been here their whole lives, or most of them, and have to live and die in the shadows?
I'm so sorry for you.
Thank you.
You must remember your mother as she lived.
Mm-hmm.
I have enough of a feeling about your strength that it probably comes from her to know she would want you to remember her as she lived and not as she died, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so sorry for what you've been through. I'm so sorry for what you've been through. And, you know, my mother came to the United States at the age of 19. She was by herself. Came alone by herself. She raised my sister and me, Maya. And I know what it is like to have a hardworking mother who loves you and to lose that. But I know that her spirit is alive. I know her spirit is alive. And will you tell me her name, and let's speak her name?
Maria Dolores Figueroa.
Maria Dolores?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we speak her name, okay?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Today, Vice President Harris campaigned in Arizona at an event organized by Republicans for Harris.
There's this kind of backward thinking coming from some folks that suggests that the measure of the strength of a leader is based on who you beat down, instead of what we know, which is the real measure of the strength of a leader is based on who you lift up. That's strength. But truly, but I mean that intentionally. It's not only good and right, that's strength. Because that's part of what is the perversion of what some people are suggesting. As though it is a sign of weakness to have empathy, to have some level of concern and care about the suffering of other people, and then take it upon oneself to do something about that. That is about lifting the condition of your fellow human being. There are forces at play that are making us as Americans, I think, call into question certain fundamentals that we've always taken for granted. That is part of our pride. Freedom. Freedom. Freedom from the government making decisions about a person's body, a woman's body. Freedom to just be. Freedom over matters of heart and home, I like to say. Fundamental principles around the importance of rule of law. Whether we should actually be concerned and have a question, a legitimate question, in an election for President of the United States, the Commander-in-Chief, of whether they will abide by the oath.
Now, while Vice President Harris is working to court anti-Trump Republicans, Donald Trump doesn't seem to want any new support, especially not in Michigan. According to recent polling, Vice President Harris is leading Donald Trump in Michigan 49-47. That is well within the margin of error. But that didn't stop Donald Trump from saying that the whole country would, quote, end up being like Detroit, end quote, if Kamala Harris wins. He said that in Detroit. Today, the Harris campaign released this ad.
They said we were dead.
Detroit waving the white flag, the city filing for bankruptcy.
That our best days were behind us. That living here is like
living in hell.
But you know what we said? We said, F that. We rebuilt ourselves. We looked out for each other, got our hands dirty, and put in the hard work. And this guy He don't know anything about that. We are a city of winners, of up-and-comers, of builders. The Motor City. Bigger and better. Here, we believe in freedom. We don't bow down to nobody, and we never will. And so what Donald Trump doesn't understand, or care to learn, is that when he said
Our whole country will end up being like Detroit if she's your president.
that he should be so goddamn lucky.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Vice presidential candidate Governor Tim Walz gave a response of his own in Michigan today.
Donald Trump was in Detroit, and he said, our whole country will end up being Detroit. You're going to have a mess on your hands. Well, look, I know you don't, that's not unexpected for him. That's exactly what he's going to do, tear down America. But if the guy would have ever spent any time in the Midwest, like all of us know, we'd know Detroit's experiencing American comeback and renaissance. Look, I'm a Twins fan, and you whipped our ass. We know where this is. Detroit's there, so we know. City's growing, crime's down, factories are opening up. But those guys, all they know about manufacturing is manufacturing bullshit every time they show up. Every time they show up.